What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. This story is called, I'm not a waiter, I'm a cop. This is not the typical story that normally ends up here, mainly because, unfortunately, I was the lady in the story, and it had a lighthearted ending. But I figured I would share it because of how funny and embarrassing it is. I currently work as a head waitress at a popular banquet facility that can host up to 2,000 people. Unfortunately, as parties that size only usually happen a few times a year, the venue doesn't employ enough staff to fit that number. Instead, it hires out from a temp agency, and we have workers that come in and help us serve the big parties. On those nights, I would have to train sometimes up to 15 new people on the spot to work that night. This was one of those occasions. The party we were serving was for a local police force a few counties over. Of course, that meant most of those attending were officers in regular dress clothes. The employee uniform for the venue consisted of a black shirt, black dress pants, and a gold tie. The temp employees had the exact uniform with one difference. They had black ties. This would be the reason for all the confusion. Part of the food service includes family-style soup, which means a large pot of soup with a ladle is placed on each table and the guests help themselves. We then replace them when they get empty. Now, replacing soup pots is a two-person job as you need someone to hold the near-empty pot while you put the full one on the table. It's hard to explain without having a visual in front of me. Regardless, you need two people or else you have a high risk of spilling everything and getting burned. I was about to replace one of these pots when I see a gentleman wearing black dress clothes and a black tie standing next to one of my tables. Thinking he's one of my temps and being my socially awkward, apologetically polite self, in this case would save me, I call to him, "I'm sorry, could you just hold this for me for a second?" He smiles widely and happily says, "Sure," and takes the pot. It takes me a total of 3 seconds to replace it with a full one, and when I turn back to him, I take the empty pot back and begin to thank him when I realize a barely noticeable dark gray decorative pattern in his dress shirt. I crap my pants and realize my mistake. "Thank you Oh crap, you're not one of my guys." He bursts out laughing, as does his table and several tables around us. I cover my face in embarrassment and he pulls me in for a hug and tells me to not worry about it. Once my embarrassment settles, we laugh for another minute, and for the rest of the night, that table and the three in my section surrounding it would tease me via reminding me that they don't work there whenever I approach their tables. All in all, I got a good tip and it was a good night. Okay, that was incredibly wholesome. Holy crap. The dude hugging her, that was what put it over the top for me. That right there is very similar to the majority of the police officers I've met in my life. There's a lot of hostility and, tension between police officers and civilians, and whilst in some cases it's very understandable because sometimes, some bad person gets onto the police force and does a bad thing, and suddenly now every police officer is a bad person, and it sucks. It sucks. A few bad apples spoil the bunch, or however that saying goes. This story's called, I work here, not there. So I work at a distribution/call center for an eyeglass company. We have stores all over the USA where you can buy glasses. We have just one factory/call center for all of the stores. There is a factory part of our building where the glasses are made and a separate call center part where I work. Friday the 13th. Yup, crazy. I pick up a call. "Hello, thank you for calling store name customer care. How may I assist you?"
"This is patient. I'm a patient of yours and I got a freaking bone to pick with you."
At this point, I am actually allowed to hang up the phone. Our boss is very specific that we do not ever have to take abuse or threats from any caller in any way. Regardless, I thought maybe he was just having a bad day and I honestly thought I could help. Trying to be nice, I say, "Sir, I'd be more than happy to assist you. How may I be of service?"
"You make my glasses and the lenses are filthy. I can't see a thing. I picked them up from your store and..."
"City in a completely different state."
"I want them clean. You have to clean them."
The stores are supposed to do a final inspection and clean the glasses before letting the customer leave with them, but mistakes happen. Usually it's not a big deal. I'm sure if you return to the store, they would be happy to clean them. You can also purchase materials to clean them yourself at any of our locations or at a retail store.
"No, You have to, dude. I'm not buying a goddamn thing. You made them. You have to clean them.
Me, thinking I should have hung up. Sir, I don't even live in state he's in. Our call center is in state I'm in. I couldn't possibly clean your glasses, and I did not make them. I only work the call desk.
Bull honky, you made these. I saw you yesterday when I picked them up.
Not bloody possible.
So you better clean them.
Finally losing my patience, I say, I most certainly will not. I don't live in his state. Furthermore, I am not obligated to assist you after you cussed at me. I did get a bit loud towards the end, which doesn't happen often. My coworker kept giving me a worried glance, so I must have sounded angry.
No, you listen.
I hung up. As far as I know, he didn't call back, but this was towards the end of my shift, so I'm hoping the next shift didn't have to deal with him. Guess I'll find out Monday. Oh, I've definitely snapped at, would-be customers because they were being jerks. Actually, I've snapped at customers too. But my customer service is impeccable, so they end up always being, pretty happy towards the end. But that's just because, like I said, I'm a god. I'm kidding. This story's called A Funny Moment at the World of Wally. Hello all you happy candy cane-fueled Christmas shoppers. My sad, embarrassing but funny tale of woe takes place in what we locals love to call Wally World. As I have said before in previous posts, I live in a small town where literally the only places to shop are 2 hardware stores, 2 drugstores, a Dollarama, and you guessed it, Wally World. Naturally, since our shopping choices sucketh much and the city is a pain in the ass to get to, I do all my holiday shopping online. Great for me, bad for local businesses. What you gonna do, right? This year, 2 of my gifts for certain family members are necklaces I ordered from that wonderful shopping site known for its love of smiling boxes from the rainforest. Unfortunately, they did not come in little jewel boxes, so I needed to find a couple so they could be, wrapped nice. Thus, I ventured forth into the big blue box crammed with shoppers high on coffee and french fries from the Golden Arches. I had my cart and my list and actually made it all the way through with no problems. Until I got to the jewelry department. I walked up expecting to see the usual desk and counter with assorted shiny objects. No desk, no counter, just sad rows of cheap costume earrings and necklaces that appeal to the under 12 crowd. So I am looking around in dismay. All I wanted was 2 small boxes. When a woman with a badge clipped to her shirt, the dreaded badge, spoke up from her position at the shelf near the floor. Her name is Sweet Lady, and she says, "Do you need help finding something, honey?" "Oh, do you have any little necklace boxes?" "Oh, I don't actually work here. I'm just a vendor, so I have no idea." "Oh, I saw your badge and thought, but you must get that all the time, huh?" "Honey, you have no idea." I roll. Have you ever been on Reddit? No. Why? Okay, so there's a sub there called IDontWorkHereLady, and some of the stories are an absolute hoot. There are more? I so have to check that out. Meanwhile, I bet you can find tiny boxes at the Dollarama. We wished each other a Merry Christmas, and I clutched my cart and ventured back into the swarm of overexcited shoppers. So, nice lady, if you found us, and you read this, welcome to IDontWorkHereLady, and thank you for your help even though you didn't work there. Well, that was really wholesome. That guy was nice, that lady was nice. That was a good story. Thank you for posting this and introducing someone who might have lots of good stories under their belt. This story's called, I'm Not a DJ, Are You Blind? Well, this is kinda r/IDontWorkHereLady, and kinda not, but I think it fits best in this category. A couple of years back, my friends and I used to organize DJ events. First, it started small. We rented out places like party houses, small private bars, etc. And we set up a sound system, lights and stuff, and several DJs playing 10 to 12 hours into the night. It was fun, and everyone that came to the event, as invited, knew what it was all about. I usually took care of the lighting, and sometimes I stayed the whole event just driving the lights, fog, and some visuals. After some events, quite a few people knew our agenda, and we started to get invited to throw these events in public bars. I wasn't very excited about it, but I thought, oh well, why not? Let's try it out. I knew how teen in bars are, and our DJs weren't very radio friendly. The day of the event came up, and we were thrilled to share our enthusiasm with the public. We set up sounds, lights, visuals, and even had an artist that was more like a band than a DJ. This wasn't a very large bar, but it had a decent-sized stage. We set up the DJ table in the middle of the stage and the sound/light controls where the house DJs usually stay, at the side of the stage. I asked all the DJs if they had any preferences with lighting, color themes, etc., and some made a couple of requests. The stage was looking great, and the first DJ started playing and I started to play with lighting. About 2 tracks in, a girl walks to my LJ booth, or light jockey. "Excuse me, can you play this radio song?" "Sorry miss, I'm not a DJ." Girl looks confused and goes away. I didn't think much of it. 2 more tracks and the same girl comes to my booth again. "Excuse me, why can't you play this radio song?" "Sorry miss, I'm really not a DJ, I'm an LJ." "What's that? You sit where the DJ's supposed to be?" "I'm driving the lights for this event, the DJ is on the stage." I point at the stage about 3 meters to her left, but I think he plays his own stuff tonight. I'm really dumbfounded that she is not realizing that there is clearly a stage right there and a DJ on it. Also, my equipment doesn't look anything like DJ controllers or turntables. Oh. She goes away to talk with her friends, pointing at me and looking very confused. The event goes on for an hour or so without any hassle, before the girl comes back again. This time she is way more drunk. "Look, I know this is the DJ's place, so you really should play this radio song. Why are you being a jerk?" "Look, miss, the DJ is right there on the stage. Look!" Pointing at the stage. "I'm just here to do the lights. This is a band event with a certain type of music and no house DJs today. We aren't taking song requests tonight, and even if we were, I'm not the one to play that for you." "I don't get it. Why don't you take my song request?" Me, now really frustrated. "Okay, miss, I'll take your request. Do you want it in green, blue, or red?" The girl is now looking seriously offended. She stares at me for a while, then turns to look at the DJ who is in the middle of a serious hardstyle track. I can see her gears finally started turning. She then pushes forward, tries to call the DJ who doesn't hear anything with the headphones on. The girl then gets an angry look on her face. I can't hear what she is saying, but suddenly she climbs over the stage railing with her drink, spilling it all over the stage, stumbling on the floor and almost knocking over the DJ table. Now DJ notices her with a "Whatever, miss?" look. But before any words are exchanged, house security steps in and drags the girl out of the stage and right out of the bar door. I didn't see her anymore that night. I'm sad that she missed my "This Radio Song" in green. Alright, so normally I would have made a very well-constructed, very funny Left 4 Dead joke, but I'm too lazy, so ha! This story's called "Stop Calling, I Don't Work For You." This has been taking place over the last few weeks, but let me give you a background. I don't know any other job that does this, but my job will have my boss text me what my work schedule is for the next week. If they are short-staffed, she will text me the night before asking, not demanding, me to do a shift. I know no other job that has that setup, but I am sure there are plenty. A few weeks ago, I got a text from Karen at 1 a.m. "Jorge, this is Karen. You're on first shift." I woke up since I really need to turn my text alarms down. So I messaged back, "I am not Jorge. There is no Jorge, so nope." The Karen texted back, "Jorge, stop messing around. I am Miss Bob. I am your supervisor. You need to do as I say." I texted back, "Still not Jorge. I am OP, and I don't know Bob. I don't even know anyone named that. I'm a female to boot. You got the wrong number. Please check it." After that, no text until the next day, which followed the same formula. And this went on for a couple of weeks, every couple of days. Then one day, I started getting calls from strange numbers. All would hang up and then text me calling me Jorge's name, and all with the Karen saying she tried calling him but got no one. Seriously, she would hang up before I could even answer. You know, during the first ring. I tried calling her back and even left voicemails telling her, "I am not Jorge, stop calling, stop texting, I don't work for you." She did that repeatedly for a while, until yesterday. Yesterday, she called me when I was just getting off work and my friend was picking me up. "Is that her?" asked my friend. "Yep," I replied and answered the phone. She was on it this time and livid. "Help," I started, never got it out. "Jorge, stop this nonsense, you have to work right now, get here," she snapped. "Look, lady, I don't work for you. I am not a guy in any way. Do I sound male to you? Stop this BS." My friend wandered off while I was on the phone. I wasn't too far off from my workstation. Karen was now going off and swearing. "I am your supervisor. If you don't come in, you are fired," she yelled. "I don't have a supervisor. I have a manager, and she doesn't have a man's first name for a last name or sound insanely suspicious." I snapped. I was so done with this. I was about to start yelling horrible things when my manager touched my shoulder. My friend had found my manager and got her. My manager gestured to me to hand over the phone. I did, as I could hear Karen going totally nutso on the other line. "Stop yelling now! How dare you treat my employees so poorly!" snapped my manager. After some more shouts that could be heard over the phone, my manager then yelled, "If you ever talk to my employee again, I'm calling the cops!" She shouted into the phone before clicking a few buttons. "Sorry, I blocked her. Just block any number from here. She is not with us," she said. "No kidding, Karen thought OP was named Jorge. She is not," said my friend. "That is crazy," said my manager. My phone started to ring. It was another one of the numbers Karen used. "Here again?" asked my manager. "Yeah," I said and blocked it. I was scared to block her in case she was a boss in some way, as I do have a few male names as nicknames, so I thought she might be confused. I said, "No, only I or other managers will message you your schedule, and we will never raise our voice at you like that. You have a boss that does that, report them," said my manager before she sent me off to enjoy the rest of my day. I love my boss and friends. They are all so awesome. Man, it always makes me tear up a little bit anytime I read or see any instance of someone showing genuine care for another person that they don't necessarily have to care for. For instance, this boss, like, she genuinely cares. Like, she didn't have to do that. That's sweet. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.